What's up, folks? I want to give a quick update on the Discharge Ignite Chieftan that I made the original starter video on, where it's been, what I've changed on it, and overall just how it performed. Starting off with, I can still very much recommend this build. It's a very good build. It's basically done everything. I've gotten it all the way up to Awakener 8. Did Awakener no problem at all, so pretty good on that front. There'll be a clip of Awakener 8 at the end of the video here, so if you want to see how it works on bosses, you can just skip to that. But overall, the only things I've really changed on it since we started it is the gearing is pretty much the same. Still, you're looking for that trigger socketed. I think this is the one I had originally. I basically made the market of these disappear, so if you have one, congratulations. I did not expect the entire market of scepters to disappear after I made the video, but it did. We still use Death Soap, we still use the banner, we have a helmet. I never got the Warlord's enchant on mine for -9 fire. I just didn't end up needing it, but if I wanted to get it, that would be, something I'd still want to get on there. I think it's Warlords. Check path POBDB before you do that, but I think it's Warlords is the -9. We got a +1/+1 fire and an intelligence amulet. That is, of course, made by using an Awakener orb on a Hunter and a Warlord's base as well, and just I had to do that twice. I got unlucky with the first one, didn't get any max life on there, so this one I kept. We got cold multi, which kind of sucks because it doesn't help us anyway, but would have been nice to get a fire multi or something like that on there. Belt didn't change, gloves still didn't get the fire damage over time multiplier on there, so if you want more damage, these are actually just all ways you get more damage on here. The -9, better amulet, you could get fire dot multi, you could get a higher multiplier on this, you get fire damage on it, you get burning damage on it. Never made my next boots, would be the endurance charge and faster ignites, or for endurance charge cooldown recovery. Same with the belt, you could get a cooldown recovery. I just stuck with this really crap belt that I made because honestly the damage and the potential of the build was so high that I didn't feel like I needed to upgrade anything, so I just kind of stuck with what I had. We regenerate 821 HP a second by just standing still. If we were to scream, we go to 3700, and with endurance charges we have 1800, which is the reason I actually don't run a life flask anymore. My regen is actually so high that I just got rid of my life flask. We do run roomies in its place because we did end up switching over to glancing blows because of the changes of discharge actually costing a lot. Now it cost, its actual price, so we ended up dropping the Scion Life Wheel entirely from the build and just picking up Tireless and glancing blows. Tree-wise, that's the only change I've done. What I've seen some people do is they get the Scepter with Elemental Equilibrium on it, so you could drop all of these 5 points here, put them somewhere else. We didn't end up doing cluster jewels. A lot of people seem to suggest that I put a cluster jewel here for blow back and stuff like that, which would require me to anoint Vigor, drop this section of the tree. I just kind of like Golem's Blood. I like the little bit of dex we get. Vigor is fine, and I like getting Burning Brutality. If you want to invest more money into the build, you could always grab a cluster jewel up here, put it there, and then drop this with Elemental Equilibrium Staff. You could get like a good medium and 2 smalls, probably get some Fettle action in here, maybe 2 blow black and something else. It'd probably be worth it if you went full ham on this. It would probably be more HP and more damage, but I just couldn't be bothered because the build was doing everything I needed to. If I was going deep delving and needed to fight an all that was really hard or something like that, then maybe I'd be worried about it more, but this for me works just fine. I didn't need to switch this out. If I did, I'd put it up here because you do get that elemental damage, which also helps versus the armor or anything like that. You want to put it down here. I kept Call to Arms and all that. I know a lot of people suggested that I go Searing Touch, Eye of Innocence. The reason I really didn't want to do that is because I do like that +1/+1 you get from the amulet. I like the trigger so that I don't have to worry about it because I do just, always drop Orb of Storms or Stormbrand, and they're both increased critical strikes, which means we have better uptime for Elemental Overload when mapping, when bossing, so on and so forth. So I didn't really like the idea of like self-damaging myself and then also losing the ability to do shield charge, because we did switch to shield charge since now we're fortify. I needed a little bit more defenses in the beginning when Heist were still in their like insane state where running through the door was terrifying and stuff. So we did switch to fortify, shield charge, faster attacks, blood magic instead of the Flame Dash setup. I still use Flame Dash on Awakener 8 because you cannot shield charge through the quad beam, so you do have to use a Flame Dash there. It's, for me, a pretty simple switch. It costs like 20 20 chaos, not 20 chaos, 20 chromatics, and I just slot it in. I have it on my other character at the moment, but I just recolor this and put it in. It's just for that one fight. Otherwise, I'm always just running shield charge. It just makes it easier. I did do Awakener 8 without switching to a life flask because I basically didn't remember to use my flask at all in the Awakener 8 fight, so in that sense it is pretty strong. We do have Cinder Swallow for a little bit more regen, so if we need to top ourselves off in maps and stuff, you know, you pop that, you're at 1,000 regen by itself, 4,000 with Enduring Cry. Our Enduring Cry is going off constantly, so we're near immortal. I mean, we do die. I mean, I'm not going to say the build is anywhere near an immortal state at, like, for hardcore levels. You would have to play this much more defensively, not be reading your chat or, you know, watching a movie as much as I do. But most of my deaths are just from not paying attention or just running maps that are way too strong, running into porcupines, which basically the easiest way I figured to get rid of porcupines, somebody suggested, is just a pyre swap. So I always just have a pyre on me and I just poop, poop, there we go. Gets rid of porcupines, you can run into them, destroy them. You don't have to worry about corpses. You could do that with Cluster Jewel of some kind, or your, was it Smoking Remains or Cremation? I think it's Cremation. You could do it with that as well to get rid of them, but this was just easier. It didn't cost me anything but like a chaos. Just a quick swap. I see porcupines, I switch into it, I'm good to go. Other than that, though, the build's pretty much where it was. We just got the +1 chest, +2 amulet, kept most of the gear the same. I think if we go to path building, we are running about 1.5, 1.6 million DPS, somewhere in there. Could grab that if I got 95, get a little bit more multi, a bit more life, one of these in there. I do have a couple reduced mana skills gems in the tree, because just to lower the cost of discharge as low as I can. It's still not that bad. I didn't get a 21 discharge. I've been corrupting these the entire time. I just haven't got one to go to 21. If I did, it would put us up to like 1.7. So a lot of these little changes that we could do would push us closer and closer to the original top end that I expected for the build to have. I will say that something happened between the video made and then the next Path of Building update, because my DPS went down by about 1 million in Path of Building, and I'm not entirely sure why it did that. Something changed, but I don't know what. We're still running vulnerability. Flammability is, I think, a better DPS up, so if you do want more DPS, you could run that. And I don't have an Awakened Hex Touch, so that could still be a vulnerability if you wanted to pick that up as well for even more damage from that. Just a bunch of little changes you could possibly make to the build to make it stronger, but I haven't needed to do that. The original video does have the theoretical top end link on the Path of Building, so if you need to see that, it's there. Other than that, though, it hasn't changed much. It's about the same build. It's incredibly fun. You could run through maps, everything melts. You're just discharging, you know, constantly. Because you do have some generation, you can always discharge on like the 4th discharge and then go again. So you can, if you rotate and get the timings right, just fine clear tier 16s by just doing the rotation back and forth, timing your discharges between the Enduring Cries, using that 4-stack. But really, for me and the way I play the game, I don't need to go through the map at, you know, breakneck speeds where I have 300% movement speed and I'm destroying every pack like within 5 seconds of, or 5 milliseconds of destroying the first pack. So with my playstyle, with my play speed, it worked really well for me. I didn't really have any issues with it. I know some people are like, oh, it's not fast enough. Well, it's not the way I play the game. And basically, the clear speed you saw in the first video is the clear speed I have tier 16s. This thing just melts things. The only problem is you do have to avoid elemental maps, and you do have to avoid no regen maps and reflect maps. So you do have to be a little picky about your maps, but other than that, it's fine. Heisting is still fantastic on it because you do have the defensive layers of the regen. Now you have the defensive layers of the fortify. If you wanted to go even more ham, I guess you could somehow drop some of this stuff and get, you know, instead of doing like a Wave of Conviction Hex Touch thing, just self-cast both of them, get a Mortal Call in there, and I think you'd be basically immortal. There's ways you could make it even tankier, save some points and stuff like that. So if you want to take it beyond where I took it, you can. But for me, the build is where it needs to be. It's 94. I'm moving on to my next build, seeing what the future holds, and still very much recommending this build. If you're interested in a discharge self-cast that's kind of just smooth and brain dead, I can highly recommend this. I'll leave you guys with the Awakener clip. It's a little choppy right at the beginning because I accidentally forgot to switch from Vulcan to screen capture, but don't worry, it smooths out. I do die once in it because I'm too busy reading chat instead of paying attention to the fight. Like I said, Awakener is pretty easy on this build because, yeah, I don't even have to pay attention during the fight. I'm mostly just reading and shooting the shit with folks, so highly recommend it for learning your Awakeners, learning the combat, learning the game in general. It's a great build. Can do as a starter, as you do just need the shield as well. I don't know about Soul Found though. Good luck farming the shield. Mosquitoes, yeah. I smashed those.
What's this? A real challenge. You've finally caught my attention. Die.
Do 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 bum 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 bum. How was that lagging so bad? We good? Yeah.
The others found strength in their projections. They became reliant on them. I am not so foolish.
Yeah, sorry, I was on the wrong scene. So it was laggy there for a sec. That was my bad. Ah, what the hell?
Be silent.
Enough ground degen, calm down. Beep, beep, beep. Most chill serious kill ever. Yeah, all my kills kind of look like this nowadays. No, I am definitely something. Come on.
Is life
Ah!
interesting enough to warrant all this pain?
Too many vortexes on top of each other. Not cool, serious.
Die.
Yeah, the music in this sounds great. No doubt.
Die.
Alright, final and actual fight. Let's do this. Pew 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 pew. Ah! Ah! Motherfucker. Don't off-screen me with meteors.
The edge of death. My heart races.
How many? 4? 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 4. Who do we appreciate? Out of lurk mode. Welcome back, Demi. Pew 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 pew. Oh shit. I clipped something. I'm not really sure what happened there.
I cannot do this yet.
That was weird. Okay. I guess I could. I didn't want to teleport left, and I tried to teleport past the beam, and I got hit in doing so. I'm dead. Ah ha ha! Not dead. I lost track of him for a while there. He went into the northern tornado there, so I lost track of him when he did that. Pew, 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 pew. I missed. I missed. Get out of the center. You die. Wow, that was pretty bad loot.